Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, TCG traders and all the friends. Uh, this is uh, this is video I'm recording for next year, 2021. This is what I have planned, how I'm going to trade, and what's my plan to trade my entire fund, as well as what I'm going to do for day trading. And this video I'm going to share with you on YouTube, so you guys can just see it and just give me your feedback, what you guys think. This I started in July, where I posted a video on YouTube, where I just presented a few thoughts, what's going to happen in next few years. That means 4 to 5 years in the US economy and the US markets. And this is continuation of the same thing. And this has a little bit updated because we had an election done recently. We have a new president-elect, Joe Biden and Harris. She's vice president. So I'm going to go ahead and start from my introduction. And if any one of you was first time looking at this video, my name is Saurabh Lakia at TCG. Everyone calls me at Sam1974. I'm trading from last 3 years, and I'm trading with so many traders at TCG and a couple of other trading groups. And this one, basically, I started as a fundamental trader, then I started as a long-term investor, then I switched to a technical trader, which is where I learn everything from TCG. My edge is to find out the market trend and all the sectors where I would like to put money in. So my main goal is to understand the sector and the trend. Without understanding, it's difficult to invest your money. Trading is completely separate game. I'm always talking about investing as well as the day trading. But investing, you have to have a knowledge of where you're putting your money in. So that's my edge. I like to find out what's going to happen in the future, where the market trend is going. So that's my main edge uh, as a trader. And few opening thoughts, as usual, I do that. These are my favorite quotes. And first one is, the big money is not in buying and selling, but in waiting. It's very important. People are always buy, sell, buy, sell. They're just easy to buy, uh, easy to click on a buy button and sell button. But normally the bigger money you make is only by waiting. That means you have a good setup, you buy a stock, you just wait. And that patience gives you more money than continuously, doing 50 times a day buy sell. And one more, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. That means so many people are always short-term oriented, but if you look at the bigger picture, as Dan always said, zoom out. This is what my always look out for. Everything is has to be zoom out. For me, weekly chart is the most important. Same thing. Anything you invest in, always look at the longer term, and this particular quote applies to the longer term investors. And the compounding is the most powerful thing I have ever seen. The key of trading success is emotional discipline. If the intelligence were the key, there would be a lot more people making money trading. This is also a very good quote, because so many people are trading with a lot of emotions. Any tweet or any news comes in, they just sell, or maybe any rumors you see it on Twitter, they buy. They are not sure what they're doing, but in that momentum, they completely get caught in that momentum and they buy sell the stock. But it's always better to you have to have a discipline, emotions. Once you have a control over it, you will see a lot of advantages in your trading, as well as in your future success of your life. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. This is apply this same other three quotes we have: patience, discipline, emotional discipline, patience, and waiting. So let's say you are swing trading or maybe investing, and you have seen that whenever you enter into in trade, you have to have a clear idea why you enter in this trade. Once you enter in the trade, you just wait, and you are going to make money while you're sleeping. What that means is that you don't have to wake up every day morning, look at the Twitter, look at the CNBC, what happened to my stock every day. That's not the way the investing works. Once you put the money in, you just look once a month, or maybe maybe in 2 months. So, and your money should work for you. You should not work for the money. So money is always, you make more money if you have patience and you think long term. So these are my few quotes. I try to put my thoughts for particular this video. So next, I'm going to talk about what I discussed in July video. So July video, I was talking about the what kind of trend we are in. There are two kind of different trends: secular and cyclical markets. We are in a secular bull market for a long time, and the U.S. market is still in the stages of not. We are not done yet. We have 10 plus more years to go, and unfortunately, the pandemic happened in March 2020, and that has changed a lot of things in a short-term manner. So we had to have a help from the federal government and also from the central government, and they just created a artificial printing machine by by lowering the interest rate, which made dollar completely go lower, which made golds go high, all the commodities went up, and rest of the world market also going higher because dollar is weaker. So that we discuss. Also, we discussed that what's the next growth in the future, and means next 5 to 10 years, who is going to drive the growth. I discuss about the millennials is going to drive the growth for next 5 to 10 years because they have transfer of wealth, trillions of dollars, $6 to $7 trillion they are going to inherit from their parents and their family, and they are going to drive the growth. Plus their own way of millennials way of living is way different from the traditional old school people. So I think they are going to completely spend money on technology, and that's how we are going to see the growth in 5G semiconductor technology, AI, Internet of Things, cloud software, cybersecurity, new technology in digital marketing, EV industries, self-driving cars, healthcare digitization, home builder suppliers. That means millennials is going to drive the home. Um, housing market, because they always want to be independent, so they are going to make money. By the age of 30, they're going to buy a new house. They're going to drive the housing market. It may create a bubble, but that's how we are seeing it next 5 to 10 years. The space economy and the specs we discuss. These are things we discuss, and luckily whatever I have discussed in July, right now we have moved on to the second step. That means it's a little bit mature. The couple of sectors are a little bit more matured, including EV industry and the specs. So I'm going to keep certain points same for this video, but I think we have really good more data how those things are evolving: specs, IPO, EV industries, and self-driving car. So these are my key discussing point for this particular video. COVID-19 pandemic, where do we stand right now? What Fed is doing? How pandemic has changed the stock market and the sectors? How the Biden and Harris policy is going to impact in 2021? Uh, what are the sectors on watch because of their policies? And what are the next big innovation markets? So apart from the Biden policies, what is the next big thing? And how I'm approaching this entire market, because you get lost in so many stocks, tickers, and so many things going on every day. But if you approach in a portfolio approach, longer term as well as shorter term, which I'm going to show you at the end of the slide, um, how you can make it both ways without feeling FOMO. So first one is, where do we stand? So right now we just have a Christmas coming up, and we are going to see that we are going to meet with the family members, and they are expecting that COVID case is going to rise during the Christmas time. I'm recording this before the Christmas. So because of that, they are trajectorying their trajectory for the virus is going to be 30,000 by mid-December, which is like already passed. But I think we are going to have more cases after December, after 10 to 15 days after December Christmas time. So in the meantime, we have three different companies are working on a vaccine, and vaccine front we have really good news. So Pfizer BioNTech is working on a vaccine, uh, and AstraZeneca Oxford is working on a vaccine which is not FDA approved yet. They are going to approve. Moderna is going to work on a vaccine. I think they are getting approval from US for emergency use. So we have from the vaccine front we have a really good news, but it's going to take us some time for to give it to everyone by maybe springtime or maybe summertime next year. So that's a good news from the vaccine front of view. Next one is what Fed is doing. So Fed knows that we are still in the pandemic. Vaccine is definitely is available for us, but at the same time, we still need to support the economy because economy is still not on a strong foothold. So economy is still struggling. So Fed has in September meeting and in December meeting, they completely made sure that we are going to continue support the economy by keeping the low interest rate till 2023, and that is the biggest thing for the stock market, because when you have a lower interest rate to 2023, and the way the federal monetary policy is, the dollar is going to go lower and lower, and we are right now at all-time low, not all-time low, but a recent few last 3 to 4 years low, and that's supporting a risk on trade into the market. So that's going to continue for next couple of years. Same thing with the lawmakers are still discussing. I think started with the 6,000 check, then 1,200, then recently Trump said $2,000. So I think still they are discussing. Nobody got the check, but I think once we have the stimulus check, $2,000 or whatever they decide, it's going to help the economy for the shorter term. And then when the vaccine is going to implement, we are going to have reopening the economy, reopening the restaurant, hotels, and everything. Traveling will start. That is going to help the um, economy. So far, as far as the jobless claims as of November, so we had a huge jobless, like almost millions of people, 8 millions of people, 7 to 8 millions by March, unemployed, and that came down to 778,000 unemployed. So which has come down, but if you see the November, it's a little bit increase in the November unemployment as well as the jobless claims, because again, because of the new COVID cases, we had to shut down the economy, shut down the some restaurants and all the shops and everything. So we have a little bit more jobless, and I think it's going to little bit rise couple of months, maybe December as well as January, and maybe in February we might get back to lower than 778,000. GDP went negative 35, and now we are going above, which is a good thing, but still we are not there. So what there's this is a Bloomberg report shows that we are going to have a completely fully recovery of the economy, which is no later than quarter 4 21, which is end of next year. So we have a long way to go. So in the meantime, Fed is backing us, and government is going to back us by sending the check for the meantime. So what has changed since the pandemic? Everybody knows what has changed lately. Lately, we have a Trump is leaving the office and Biden and Harris coming to the office. So whenever a new president comes, normally last July video, you saw that nothing normally changes in the market. It only changes. It's all depend upon the what kind of policy they bring. So Trump, Biden, and Harris has work really hard to come up with a new policy to make America build back better. That's what the main goal is. So these are some policies. I'm going to show you the key policy which is impacting the stock market or some certain sectors in the stocks. So I'm going to mention those. So Biden Harris has a very good plan for build America back better. So that means just like America, let's make America great again. That was a Trump thing, but this is he wants to make again. He's saying the America is broken, economy is broken. Let's build everything back better, and he's coming up with his own policy. So if you look at the this particular website, joebiden.com, Joe's vision, dash vision, you are going to see all the policies what he's going to implement. So main policy is clean energy. So clean energy is the biggest one because he is planning to spend $2 trillion. So that $2 trillion, including the clean energy, which is solar, EV vehicle infrastructure, buildings and building the new roads and bridges. That's the biggest thing we are talking about from the Trump era. But I think this is going to happen. Hopefully, this is going to happen because still we are Democrat is not completely controlling the Senate. So in case Republican is controlling the Senate, some of the policies is going to get stuck. But I think we are hoping that it's going to get passed through, and some of the policy out of solar, EV, or maybe infrastructure going to get passed, and we are going to get some kind of a resolution on those policies. Next one is made in all America. I think Trump also had a similar plan, but $700 billion for over a decade, Biden has promised that he wants to make everything made in America. The caregiving is also one of the plan that he wants to spend 10 years for $775 billion plans for caregiving. I'm not going to go in all details. I want to focus more on the stock point of view, but I think these three are the main good policy. Next one is what is going to impact, how these 7 points are going to impact our EV and solar and clean energy future. So first one is build a modern infrastructure. So what Biden is right now promising, that transforming our crumbling transportation infrastructure. So he's building the road, bridges, rail, aviation, ports, everything new. Because I think we have to compete with other countries like China and Europe and India, because they are also spending money on all those things, and we want to be equivalent to what they're doing. So we are going to spend those money on this thing, which is going to be really huge for those sectors. uh, railroad railroad revolution is going to be there. Municipality transit networks, that means local municipality also has a lot of broken system. We need to fix those things. And during the pandemic, we figured out that when everybody was remote, there's so many rural areas, very far remote areas, they did not have a really good broadband networks. So what Biden is pushing, that 5G is already here, but he's pushing the 5G is going to be all over America, even in the far remote areas. So in case, so they have a really good, so in case in the future, they are going to, if something like this happen, they can do their business remotely easily. And even though no pandemic or nothing happens, that is very helpful for any small business to grow online. 21st, second point is positioning the US auto industry to win the 21st century with the technology invented in America. So this is very good thing that he is helping small internal combustion engine uh, traditional vehicle makers, that okay, you don't if you can't afford to transition your old manufacturing plant to the EV, they are going to help them. They're going to make them easily available, all the loans and everything. So that's the way they're going to be converting their old plants to the EV plants. Achieving the carbon pollution free power sectors, which is solar, and this is going to be a huge thing, and we already seeing that impact in our solar sector. um, e- Energy efficient in buildings, including completing 4 million retrofits and building 1.5 million new affordable homes. So there's so many things he's planning. More details you can find on the website. uh, he's pursuing a historic investment in the clean energy innovation. So energy is not just like energy. There's so many in details information. If you look at their website, you're going to find out. Agricultural front also, he's working really hard. So that's also one sector we need to look for. And the secure the environmental justice and equitable economy opportunity. So I think these are the 7 key elements, I think, that is going to help us to drive the economy when next 4 years. And if we have a full support in the Senate and the House, in the House definitely we have a support, but if you have support in Senate, out of these 7, maybe we get 3 4 get passed, is going to be really good for the US economy and GDP growth. So first thing I'm taking is the clean energy. So clean energy is the most important part, because the solar energy acceptance by business and household has been increasing. We all know that, and it's very helpful. And according to the IAE, um, solar energy is renewable energy, and renewables include solar, wind, hydro, biofuel, and others, are the center of the transition of the less carbon intensive and more sustainable energy systems. So these are the things. uh, I mean, looks good on here as a definition, but I think we are working on this thing for many years, and finally he's putting at the very top priority list. So if you look at this sector, particular sector, we see recently, as soon as Biden got not elected, but I think that as soon as we saw that Biden is ahead of Trump, these companies from November 3rd, if you look at the chart, all these companies of solar companies, even before that, when the Biden started saying that, what, he's going to support this, when he started putting this plan on his website, all these sectors were already going higher, because always stock market works 6 months ahead of the whatever is happening in reality. So I think people already pour the money in these sectors, and these are my favorite stocks, and I'm going to stick to these stocks. I'm not going to pay attention. So what I'm doing here, I'm taking each sector, putting all the main stocks where all the fund managers liking it. That means most fund managers are putting their money in. So these are the Canadian Solar, First Solar, ETF called TAN, Jinko Solar, Solar Edge. So Solar Edge and First Solar is my one of the best one, and Jinko Solar is also a good, really good stock. So I would say I pick a couple of stocks out of this list, and I pick one ETF. So Solar Edge, my favorite stock, because it's a very right now most fund manager likes that stocks, and it has a really good bullish chart. So next one is infrastructure plan, transforming our all the old roads and bridges. As we know that everything is here broken. I mean, everything means there's so many. If I talk to Philadelphia, so many bridges and everything is so old. We needed new bridges and roads and so many things. So this is going to be there. 5G network, broadband. So what are the companies? So as soon as the Caterpillars, as soon as this plan was announced, Caterpillar was already going higher. So that's the one more thing. Then Valmont Industries is one more really good stock, which supplies lighting, traffic, and highway safety products. So what he also planned, if you look at the fine prints, he wants to fix the municipality. So municipality means local system. So local system has a local interest intersections, local roads, and I know so those things are very very important, and these companies, Valmont Industries, Genco Industries, which supplies the highway construction equipments, and Martin Minerals. This supplies asphalt and sands and crushed stones. These companies are really good. US Concrete also a good one company. Advanced drainage system. So these companies are there from many years. But these companies, if you look at the chart, they are getting momentum as soon as they started seeing that Biden and Harris is going to be elected. So these companies are there for many years. They are doing local work for many years. But with this particular budget get passed in Senate, they will see really good boost. So we need to have some kind of portfolio where these names are also part of the infrastructure plan. So next one is everybody knows that broadband and 5G. We discussed this in July's videos, and we all talking about 5G is going to be the next big thing for next 5 years. 5G is not just about the phone. 5G about the technology. So 5G is going to change the entire future of generation of technology of all different um, equipments, instruments, everything, including healthcare, including a phone, including a smart city, smart offices, smart roads, everything. I mean, all those things is going to change. So these companies are the focus companies from my focus list is Broadcom, Qualcomm, American Tower, Analog Devices, Crown Castle International, Marvel Technologies, Apple, Verizon Communication. You can find tons more, but these companies are really good companies and you can rely on, and these companies are already getting benefited, and the number one company is always Apple is going to be there. And with the Apple recently announcing about the EV car introduction, Apple is now is a bundle of so many good things: 5G, EV, phone, chips, semis, everything. So this is the broadband and 5G. So next big thing is about Biden and Harris saying, they want to have they want to give more support to the auto companies to transition from the old systems to the new system, which is the to the EV cars. And it's not like a you just snap and you change from old internal combustion engine plants to the new one. So what he's doing, he's supporting all those companies, and he has a really good plans. So before I start that conversation, I want to talk about like how quickly we are going to adopt from old traditional car to the new EV car. So this is a one picture. I think I have copied from so many other seminars. This is a picture of a Easter morning, 1900, New York City, Fifth Avenue, and the picture is saying "Spot the car." What I see is only just horse carriages. So all the horse carriages I see one in here in the corner. There is a one car I see. only one. It's difficult to spot. Now, after 13 years, same street. Now they are saying spot the horse. It's difficult to. I still see one horse here, but I think so. The transition from the horse carriage, horse to car, was just happened 100 years ago in just 13 years. So just think about it. That same transition could happen from a internal combustion engine, old traditional cars to EV, maybe in next 10 years. So there are some data what Biden Harris plan for this EV is the EV boom is accelerating. We all know that. I mean, we all know from recent increasing all the stock. Um, New study says from the Boston Consulting Group by 2025, EV could account for a third of all auto sales. By 2030, EV could surpass internal combustion engine vehicles with a market share of 51%. That means by 2030, half of the vehicles going to be EV cars. And by 2040, I would say we are going to have 100% of EV vehicles, because there's so many states and so many countries are already putting some rules that by certain years, by 2030, 2035, 2033, they want to remove all the internal combustion engine cars. So what Biden is doing it. So there are 7 points from Biden is helping this EV sector. So he's revisiting the fuel economy requirements. So what happened that Obama and Biden time, they had a EPA rules of fuel economy requirements. So he is going to bring back. So that's a one. Second, expanding the EV tax credit from 7,000 to 7,500. So 7,000 is already there. He's increasing by $500 more. Uh, and also it's saying we need to accelerate the conversion of all the public vehicles, which is now on public road like roads, all the fleets to the all electric. So that's one. That's number three. Number four, more charging station infrastructure. So he already planned that we are going to have a 50K more charging station from coast to coast in the US. When you have more charging station, EV manufacturing is very. I mean, EV cars, we can have more EV cars because it's easy to fill the charge the cars. Number five, helping finance the EV manufacturing solution. Same thing I discussed, that we need more loans for those companies who cannot afford to transition from internal combustion to the EV. Six, nurturing smaller US EV companies, um, helping the small businesses, and returning to the tariff stability. So right now with the Trump, he increased the tariff, so we need to make sure we are returning to the tariff stability. These are the stocks. You can find so many stocks. I mean, you guys know definitely, but this is just few stocks that I'm focusing on. I mean, I can add more, but these are my favorites. Only stock EV car and truck manufacturing stocks. So we all know that Drive is DRV is the ETF, or that Tesla is the one. Neo is second. Lee is there. Workhorse Group is nothing but building semi truck EV trucks. Lordstown Motors Corp, Ride. I like this stock because this company has a more future, because it's a local company with so much we are going to have. I guess Biden says we are going to have a all public vehicle fleet to all electric. Maybe we might have Workhorse and Ride will maybe more beneficial with that. Also, Ride is going to have a maybe our RV market. So all the RV right now we are seeing all the old school. Maybe once we have in 10 years we are going to have all electric RVs, and that's going to help, very helpful. So these are the 7 policies and this company name for EV cars. What's next? So I'm dividing the EV sector in 4 different sectors: EV car manufacturing, then charging station manufacturing. So there are so many charging station companies so far. If you see here, their major players are Tesla, ABB Group, Asian Brown Breweries, Siemens, Snyder, and there is a couple of more companies also coming up, which they are going to be, providing charging session throughout the world as well as in the US. So I think this segment has to grow very fast, and is going to grow the next 5 years, and with the support of the local government. So Biden already charging plans could sell. So Biden says they want to install 500,000 charging station. I heard, but this is a report from Bloomberg on December 2nd. There's a 500 charging station next 10 years. So if you see here, we are going to have 1.8 million plugs by 2035, which is a huge number. So that's going to very helpful. Next market is hydrogen fuel cell. So what hydrogen fuel cell is different from the EV cars? So the key difference between the battery operated EV cars and the fuel cell is the batteries have a charge and this battery have a charge and discharge cycle, while the fuel cells produce electricity continuously as long as the fuel is available. So I'm not expert in this hydrogen fuels technology, but this is a very good industry which is competing or maybe going to say stay side by side with the EV cars, because their application of vehicles are different. So we are going to have a very high luxury model from EV cars, but the application of hydrogen fuel cells is going to be transportation point of view, as the passenger vehicles, trucks, forklifts, buses, school buses, maybe logistic vehicles, aviations, marine, stationary power. Uh, I mean, there's so many different applications of a hydrogen fuel. So the entire thing is going to get revamped. We can see that EV as well as hydrogen both can stay at the same place. I mean, both can stay together, and we can get benefited from those different companies. So that's a hydrogen fuel cell and hydrogen fuel cell and charging stations. So these are the stocks for the charging station and hydrogen fuel cells. I have already bought all those stocks in my portfolio. I'm going to show at the end of the slide, end of the presentation. So these are the really good famous stocks right now. Bloom Energy, hydrogen is very good stocks. Ballard Power System, BLDP, Cummins, Fuel Cell Energy, FCell, Plug Power is one of the favorite, and Blink Charging. So what Plug Power does? Plug Power does is leaders in hydrogen economy. So Plug Power is good, and the Blink Charging is, I said, charging stations. So every company, like right now, if you are an internal combustion engine, you are going to see the gas station everywhere, near to the mall, strip mall, cinemas, everywhere. But now we don't have all those things. So when you're driving an EV car or EV truck or whatever it is, you need a charging station. If you don't have a charging station, it's very difficult to implement it. So now we have a huge offices, like so many office complexes where people park their car, but they don't have a charging station. There's no point for me taking a car to the uh, uh, to, I mean EV car to the office, because if there is no charging station. So so there are different companies who is going to install all those charging stations to the different places. Means they are going to some companies going to install near the healthcare systems, that means hospitals, near businesses, near strip mall, near malls, near cinemas. So this is a highest growth market. I'm expecting that these companies are going to grow 2 to 3 folds in next 2 to 3 years. So charging point networks also came through SPAC. SBE is also really good. They are going to install in the retail space and offices. And Blink Charging recently is signing up so many contracts to install the charging station into the healthcare providers like Capital Health or whatever name it, Horizon, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, what are the offices they have, a humongous hospitals they are installing those things. And lithium ion batteries, who doesn't know this about this thing? So we discuss about the EV cars, we discuss about the hydrogen fuel cars, I mean trucks or whatever it is, the applications of the, we discuss about the charging station, we discuss about now is lithium ion batteries. So EV car requires lithium ion batteries. These are the stocks for the lithium ion batteries. QuantumScape, you all know that growing crazy, recent IPO, I have not listed here because this slide I made before that, but that stock is going crazy, and you can see that this is going to be huge. And when say Apple announced their EV car, and if they have their own battery system, is going to be huge competition. But this sector is not going anywhere. So now the fourth one is nothing but LiDAR system. So it's called a light detection and ranging technology. So so what is LiDAR? Which stands for light detection and ranging, uses the laser pulses to build a 3D model of the environment around the car. I mean, we all saw this from Google cars everywhere. What it does, it creates a model, and it's a speed of detection of objects near the car. It's so fast. It's the speed of light. So that's why, because this is the most important key part of the self-driving technology. The reason being is that if you are have a self-driving technology, if you have a self-driving taxis, I mean, we are going to have a self-driving EV taxis. That's what everybody's talking about. Then this is the most important part of the whole thing, because this is a safety concern, and this has to be the number one safety. Uh, Safety concerns. So this has to be really good. So there are certain companies, they are developing this technology, but this LiDAR is not only used for self-driving cars. So that's used for agriculture. They also use for river service system, modeling the pollutions, and archaeology and the build construction. So there are so many different application of LiDAR system. And this LiDAR system, there are four companies. Maybe there are so many other companies. They are still private, but there are four companies right now public, which I know, which I have in my portfolio, with a Luminar Technologies, uh, uh, Velodyne LiDAR System, Collective Growth, Inter-Private Equation Corp. So these four companies are really good. And I think, if I'm not wrong, the VLDR, Velodyne LiDAR is going to work with Apple, or maybe Apple is working with them, something like that. But I think this is the most important technology. So when I say EV, I don't want to buy Neo or Tesla and hook onto that particular stock. So I have so many different places to go to. So this is my one of them. So I mean, all those four is most important if you talk about EV. So next one, everybody knows about SPAC. SPACs on fire. Everyone knows it. People, if you are not trading SPAC in last 2-3 months, what you're trading? It's impossible to trade without SPACs. So this SPACs is nothing but a, like, special acquisition purpose companies, which is this is the particular layout. I think I discussed this in my July video also. This is little bit different from the traditional IPO. So you open a company, you plan for the company, you fund the company through so much money, from venture capitalists, whatever it is. You have the funding, you have the company name, you are going already public. Now what you do, you take a 5 to 6 months or more than that to acquire a company which is suitable for for you, for the company A. So for the spec, so once they find a company, there is a approval process, merger process. When the company merger is when the merger, the company change their ticker symbol, and then the company goes public. Public company is already public, but it's already changing their name. So spec is a way of different way of coming as IPO, I mean, coming to the public market. Because public market, why everybody wants to go public? Because right now liquidity is not an issue. Tons of liquidity available in the market. People are, because there is nowhere they are getting the yield or interest rate is zero. So people have tons of money. They want money back. They want money. They want to make money out of their own money. So that's why liquidity is there. So this is the best time to go to. So I'm saying this is going to be there for next 2 to 3 years. Hopefully one day is going to, this bubble is also going to burst soon. But my only worry about the SPAC market is that when you are investing in SPAC, make sure there is a, the cycle, how SPAC works. So SPAC, it looks like a bubble right now, but how SPAC works is always, whenever the company like letter of intent comes, $10 price target, it's from 10 to 11. Their 10 to 11 or $12 price target is initial stage. It bounces their price to $12. That's what I'm talking about. And then when they figure it out, okay, where they're going to merger with, when they announce the merger date, that we are going to merger with the certain company, just like IPOC is going to merger with Clover. When they announce the merger date, the January 6th is the merger date for Clover. Same with IPOB was the with the open door. So what happens? The stock skyrockets there, and then you need to understand when to buy, when to sell, and how to play this IPO. I mean spec market. If you don't know, you're going to be like this picture, next picture, where everybody's fishing, and half of the people getting nothing. So be careful if you're trading spec. I would only work on I'm only focusing on a spec with three things. I need a really good company, acquiring company, which they're acquiring. The second is I'm really looking for management and what is their future growth. So these three things are very important. If you don't know those three things and you're blindly looking at Twitter and you're going and buying it, you are going to be stuck under stock and you are never going to recover from that. So be careful when you play the spec market. Specs are bubbly. territory, whatever it is. There is one of the things, it says stocks are doubling in a day, tripling in a month, and quadrupling in six. Enjoy the mania, but know this: over the past 100 years, SPX SPY annualized return is, with including return, including dividend, is just under 10%. So the SPAC right now is working, no doubt. Take the money and run. Don't hang on to it. And when you feel invincible completely, that you are top of the world, that's the time to sell and take the money out, because this is not going to last longer. So be careful whatever you play. But best thing I would say, track those things is spactrack.net, where you have so many active specs. You can see it. You go to this website. Myself has following a Twitter account, spectrack, and it's just giving really good information. There is one more website called stockmarketmba.com, which shows you a list of all the shell companies.php. That's the link which shows you all those all those companies which are active, which are going to be active after merger. All those things are listed there. The fourth one is Chamat. Chamath is he's the pioneer in coming up with really good specs, and I follow him, and I really like his vision. So I follow his all those specs companies, IPOC, IPOB, all those companies I already invested in. So I think I would follow him if you like his vision. So what's next? So those are the policy we discussed about the Biden and Harris policies, clean energy, EV cars, 5G, everything. So those things are there. Apart from there, our economy is already running on the certain engines. I mean, certain pandemic has changed certain things, and certain things are already changing it. So what are those things? The first thing, we had a huge e-commerce boost, or you can say boom, this year. E-commerce was already there, but because of pandemic, everybody locked down, shut down at home. I mean, at home, they were working on like work from home, so they're buying everything online. So e-commerce is the one. Digital marketing, when you are always online, digital marketing and advertising quadruple. Online sports betting, this is one more thing. When all the casinos are closed and every games are uh, maybe canceled because of the COVID or something like that, um, you need to bet all those games. You can have a casino play online. So this is one more thing. Cannabis sector is also getting some kind of a really good attention because of the Biden policy, because Democrats are like they are planning to have they are planning to have more uh, opening the states, maybe the federal laws for the cannabis sector. Most my favorite, digital payments, cybersecurity, and online gaming. So let's dive into the one by one. So e-commerce. So e-commerce this year we also the Black Friday sales were through the roof. Shopify is my number one. Amazon's number two. Etsy is there. Wayfair is there. Chewy is going crazy. I mean, whoever's dog, they know that we are buying from Chewy.com. We have all the boxes from Chewy.com and Amazon.com all the time. So this is the statistics that the sale, online sale is growing. So right now, 2020, if you see in orange, we have here. Still, we have 19% only. Think about the growth in the future. So the online sale is going to go higher. What other companies are there? Amazon, Shopify, Etsy, Wayfair, Chewy, eBay, Walmart, FedEx, UPS, XPO Logistics, Mercado. Oh, this company is crazy. This is like Amazon of Latin America, Jumia Technology. That's also one of my favorite. Amazon of Africa, which is also. Uh, I mean, there is just so many like there are so many discussion going on. The company is not right, wrong, whatever is the price is very inflated. Maybe that market is not the correct market, but who knows? But these companies are really good growth. Other than these companies, also there are so many other companies, but these companies should be in your watch list. So I call them as my focus list. This is what I'm going to focus on. Digital marketing, we discuss about that. Right now we are digital marketing world, because marketing marketing revenue dumped as soon as pandemic happened, because they thought, who is going to go out, how we are going to market our product. Everything is locked down, but very quickly they have realized they open all the omni channels. Omni channels means market your particular product through so many different ways. This I'd also discuss in July video. So Facebook, Google, and Pinterest, they saw that they are going to have the least marketing revenue during the month of March, April, May. But then as the pandemic After pandemic, everything started picking up, and their growth is going to go double, triple in next year, as per the Morgan Stanley. So this is one more called online sports betting. So online sports betting, how come this all of a sudden grew attention? I mean, got the attention. The reason being is that, as you see that most of the states are running out of money, they don't have enough money to survive. They might file for bankruptcy, or they might ask help from the central government, where they are not where they are not ready to help them out. Just take the example of New York. Uh, Andrew Cuomo is working really hard to get the money from the central government, but they are not helping them. So what each states are doing, they're opening their states for allowing them. So online sports, or not online, the physical sports betting was already open in 2018 in 21 states, already legalized. Now that sports betting is going to go more higher by 2020. So people are going to have a more access to the mobile, though they are getting more revenue through this online sports betting, and as well as the what do you call, cannabis sector. So I'm going to talk about cannabis sector later on, but I think the physical sports betting is going to be there, where you go to the um, race course and you just play physical bets. But same thing here also, the online sports betting is going to go higher. We see that DraftKings, Pan National Gaming is growing crazy. The stocks are going crazy, but there are other stocks also you can have, or you can have the gaming ETF called Bets. So this is a very good. Flutter Entertainment is also a good one. MGM also one good one. Wind Resort is also a really good one. Those are, you can consider as a reopening economy trade, as well as the sports betting trade, because now with this particular online sports betting permissions through states, wherever they have physical casinos, they are also going to have their business model has to change a little bit. So they are going to change their business model. So this is one of the futuristic growth sector. I would always, so my long term money is in DKNG and Penn National Gaming. These are long term. Short term, I try to play certain times. It works. Penn has a better chart than the DKNG, but this is a TCG traders know about this long time. I mean, Dan is the master of this. I mean, Dan has created this marijuana group in our TCG, and we know this thing from long time. We had a craze few years back when Canada made official illegal in Canada, but still the US is not legalized. The reason being that in US we have a lot of issues with the financing, because only state legalizing is there, federal is not legalized. That means when you want to open a business, you don't have enough money. If you don't get a loan through the banks, because banks don't provide you a loan if it's not federally legalized. So hopefully democratic government and maybe senate, they might both work together, and they may give us this permission to have a recreational marijuana open throughout the US, federally legalized. But state by state, we are getting uh, really good progress, and it's working out. So what you need to understand about to invest in this thing. I mean, there's so many people can know more than me. I am just putting it here. There are cannabis growers and retailers. So you need to know where you're investing, and biotechs and the providers. So there are so many companies, but my favorite few companies are CGC is there, and then my companies are uh, I think I don't have listed here, IIPR and GWPH. Those two companies are really good. Those three companies I would invest in. I invested in CGC, then I removed it when it went down. Right now, I don't have position in any of those, but I'm planning to have position in this next month. So this is a really good one. So this is one of the best and most promising sector for next 10 years. And if you are only getting aware of this sector because of PayPal and Square stock run, just as beginning of this thing. So fintech is growing rapidly throughout the world. And the company who is at the forefront right now in US, those companies are Square, PayPal, and those companies are doing much better. And there are so many. Cash App is the app, Venmo is the app, where they are going. Kids are using crazy. Even I'm forced to use Venmo with my 22 years old, my son, and they are using every day. I mean, they cannot survive without Venmo. So these companies are really futuristic companies. And if you compare the digital growth happening in India and China, right now in China they are growing. They have so many small businesses, but they are already 90% people by next 5 years. They're going to have a growth. All transactions going to happen almost like I guess $90 trillion, something like that. Not sure about the figure, but I think they're 90% of transaction is including small businesses. They're going to happen through this digital payment system. So in India also, this growth is really fast because of the millennial population is higher, and this is the place where I would highly recommend to invest. I'm not a financial advisor, but I would recommend to have some money in any of these stocks for a longer term. Short term you can always play, but longer term is very good sectors. And one more thing, the Jumia Technologies, which is a Jumia is Amazon of Africa, Mercado Libre, which is a Latin America's. They like Amazon has does not have Amazon Pay. They are like allowing to Visa and everything, but these companies have their own pay system. So that way they are helping uh, one more stream of growth. Next one is cybersecurity. Who doesn't know cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is must, and recently we see that some kind of a cyber attack happened, and because of that, so many cyber stock went to the roof. These are my favorite stocks. Don't have to go in details. Everybody knows that, but these stock you cannot avoid that to look at it. Have to have in your portfolio. CrowdStrike, Zscaler, Palo Alto Networks, SailPoint, Okta, Checkpoint Software. These are the very good companies. I know this thing because I used to be in tech industry, so I have seen the use of those things, and must have. And the growth is going to be by 2027 is going to be higher only. There's one more stock I'm missing is called FireEye. Lately, they also got some kind of a really good, I mean, attention in the news media, so we can have that one too. So next sector I would say talk about is genomics revolution. This is the very highly recommended healthcare industry that which you have to have a particular investment in. The reason being genomics is the study of genes and their function. The genomics aims to understand the structure of genome. I mean, I'm not going to go detail because I'm not like a scientist or maybe the biologist. I don't know these things, but genomics is also divided into the three different sections. So they have different applications. And this sector got famous recently because of everyone knows that ARK Investments, Kathy has created their ETF, and this is ARKG, I guess. That's the ETF. Because of this got most funding, and this is where future is. My son is also doing uh, right now he's working on the same thing. So because of that also I was more inclined towards this particular sector, and I'm highly recommending to have money invested in this particular. So as per my knowledge, nothing, I'm not like biology guy or this guy, but these are three four different ways I'm dividing this whole sector is DNA sequencing and analysis. So they are saying that when pandemic happened, the DNA sequencing, the Illumina developed that particular sequencing, and then help the manufacturing, the market of integrated systems. So they are the manufacturers of those systems. So DNA sequencing, uh, there are so many other companies, but this company is one of the best company, and I would highly recommend it to invest. I mean, have to have in portfolio. Genome editing is called Editas Medicine is a clinical stage biotechnology company which is developing a therapies based on CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing technology. So this is like a very technical term, but there's a CRISPR's Cas9 gene editing. You can see a lot of videos. Kathy's explaining, or maybe the doctors explaining on YouTube. But this is a very good company. Lately, they got some kind of a studies came out. Stock went high. I would wait for buy to any of the stocks if they are really higher. Gene Medicine, Intelia Therapeutics is a biological company, biotechnology company developing biopharmaceuticals using the CRISPR gene editing system. So this is a company, also really good company to look at it. Gene testing and Invitae Corporation, a medical genetics company. This is also one more company. I think I am going to invest this in this company, Edit, NVTA, and ILMN, aluminum company next year. I already have in my portfolio. I'm going to show you next, but I'm going to invest more because I think once they go down, right now I have a huge profit in all those companies. But I think when you have when the prices come down, definitely to look into it. So what's next? Apart from this thing, is I'm already taking a lot of time, about 55 minutes up. There is a one more thing. It's called the specs are flying on your face every day. Spec.net and Twitter, follow, must follow. But there are so many technologies that there are so many companies are coming up. These are the companies that I always look for. Every day we are seeing a traditional IPO ways or spec through spec. These are the companies also very lately got hype. I would call innovation honey badger stocks. No matter what happened to the S&P 500 or Nasdaq, these companies goes up 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%, no matter what. So I think I would keep as a honey badger stock. And this is a stocks. This is a Fubo TV. I am hearing that Fubo TV might take the Roku. I mean, not competing with Roku, but that could be the next years of Roku. LiDAR system, LAZR, BFT, IPOC, Snow, Peltronics. I mean, that's one of the best company. ABNB must have if economy is reopening. Pivotal Investment Corp, PIC also good one. C3 AI is a really good one because that stock went recently from 95 to 160 or something. I mean, these companies are growing. They have a hyper growth. So when you have a hyper growth, it's difficult to evaluate. Difficult to find out the valuation. So what you do if you are buying something and you are up 40%, 50%, take the money off the table and play with the runner. So these companies are for those. I would not really completely put hardcore money for like retirement money in investments until they have a 3 to 4 quarterly reports and the quarterly reports are making some money. So that's a very important thing to do. You need to have some at least 3 4 quarter report to make money. Otherwise, you cannot have more than a year. It should be 3 6 months. You have to re-index your portfolio. So what happens when the vaccine is there? Everybody is going to go to work. What's next? We all know that everyone is dying to go on a vacation. Business people are dying to go on a business trips, going on a all those hotels and do the business face to face. So this is going to be really big news when the economy is going to open. These are the reopening stocks. I am not keen on to buying so many stocks of this thing because my focus is on hyper growth. But these stocks are there. Has to have in your watch list, in your focus list. Marriott, Hilton. Those stocks are really good if you think that business folks are going to back to the business. They're going to travel. They're going to buy uh, airline tickets, book a hotels. So United Airlines, American Airlines, and all those companies are really good. But airlines was not my favorite from beginning because airlines were never making money before. But certain airlines like Alaska Airlines, United Airlines, maybe those companies are good. Maybe if you buy now, definitely it's going to go a little bit higher, but it's not going to like quadruple or something like that, like other growth companies. So what's next? Like, how do I approach this my entire focus list? The focus list is going crazy. How I'm going to monitor all these stocks? So what I do normally, this is my theme of last year. That same theme happening for this year. That what I do, I divide my portfolio. Let's say I have a huge portfolio and diversify all those industries I talk about. Diversify. I mean, diversification normally you call as a bond, stocks, and mutual funds, everything. I'm talking about diversification of only stocks, which is also risky because when the market all go down, which is this also goes down, but still there are so many honey badger stocks and there are so many good companies that might not go with the entire market. It may go, but what I'm saying, this is a very good way of diversifying. So my main three sectors which I am betting that are going to go higher next year is genomics, EV, clean energy. Those are three. Sorry, fourth one is digital internet and digital marketing and streaming. So those four sectors I'm putting 15%. The rest of the sectors I'm putting 10%. So how do I do that? So I'm hypothetically I'm giving my calculation. So my calculation is that if I have $500,000 in my account, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take $350,000. I'm going to divide into the eight different portfolios. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I'm dividing into those things percentage wise. 15% is $50,000, 10% is $35,000. So I'm dividing those and I'm putting money even though you put 50 stocks, so $52,000 for Genomics. I know Editas, Medicine, or maybe Illumina stocks are so higher. How you do it? You can buy 25 stocks, but diversify. Do not put like 100,000 in Editas Medicine because it's going to go like 50% higher. So that is the most risky way of approaching. This approach, what will give you? This give you, let's say Genomics is going to give you, let's say 125% return. I will show you next. But let's say I divide this way, and what do I do next? The rest of the $150,000 I play through options every day, day trading. So I have focus list. I buy the stocks, put it on the side. Do not look at it. So when I buy the stocks, what are my buying criteria? That's a different topic. This is my technical term, the technical analysis way about buying stocks, step buying, how you buy it, how you accumulate. That's a completely separate topic. But I think once you buy it, you put it away. You don't look at every day. You don't look at that account every day. You look at every month, and maybe you are in the market for day trading, so you know what's going on. So, but do not go and sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Goal is to buy it end of January, end of December, and sell by next year. So you don't pay the taxes higher, and you have the growth going. You get the complete growth. So what I do, 150K play options, completely play options with daily, weekly squeeze. That's also a separate topic. I can cover it in the future, but I will going to show you how I divided this thing my last year, which is this year and next year. So this is my company, Atlantis Capital. So what I did, I have different portfolios. So let's say hypothetically $500,000 I have this year to invest for next year. What do? I divided into all those $350,000. I created 8 portfolios. So out of that, what I did, I created EV technologies. So when I created EV technologies, what I did, I created all those companies I bought in December first week. I think since December first week and one I bought the 14th, I don't have access to this account. I mean, I didn't buy this anything. I didn't open this account. This is a 125% growth already. And the quantum scape, I didn't do any kind of a purchase after 14th, but I think quantum scape was the least money wise, but I think taking the most space right now. That means because of the stock went from, I bought it now around 30, it's called $131. But what I'm doing, I always consider this particular portfolio as a completely separate from what I do every day. So when I do day trading and swing trading every day, I do not even look at this thing at all. I do not talk about this thing with anybody also at all, because this is how I separate my emotions. If I talk about this thing, okay, my growth is huge. I mean, definitely I do that sometimes. Oh, my stars. So this stars portfolio I have, which is Shopify, TTD, Adobe, Roku, and Square. This particular 2020 portfolio right now, it is growth 295% as of today. But I am not going to sell. I'm going to sell until March, because I bought all those things during the COVID dump stars. So I'm going to sell March, so I don't have to pay the taxes. So this is my way of doing it, and I hope it helps people, because this way you are keeping your long-term portfolio with the short-term day trading emotions completely in check. So this is my portfolio view. I'm using one of the desktop software to create this thing. So I don't create it here. I organize here and download from the broker, and we organize here. So this is a view of my portfolio. So what is the next year market prediction? So market prediction is nothing but analyst prediction. Everybody is bullish. They are saying we are going to go higher. So these are all from Deutsche Bank, UBS, Jefferies, Bank of America, BMO Capitals, Credit Suisse, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. Average price, I would say 4,000 to 4,200, and JP Morgan also 4,500. And our Tom Lee from forgot his company name. He is also, I think his target is 4,200, something like that. But I think this is not about the S&P 500 target. You invest and your focus should include a honey badger stocks. It does not matter if your S&P is going higher or lower. I don't have included finance here. I don't have so many other sectors here. Energy sector means oil sector here, because my focus is on only growth, hyper growth, because where the money is flowing, I can see from those ARC investment that highest money flow is going into the innovation and the growth sector in the future. Why would I spend and waste my money, or maybe wait for a longer time for that, because that kind of sector is already there in my 401k and also in my IRA. So I don't want to invest same money in the same similar sector. So this is my overview of 2021, what to expect, and this is how I'm going to approach it. I hope this helped. This is going to help you. If you like this particular video, please give me thumbs up, like it, and your comment is really appreciated. Thank you very much.